Hello friends and welcome back to 7 Days to Die with your host, Rongo the Bold. We are talking about our tutorial series, and tonight we're going to do surviving your first night. And it's a late day, we haven't got anything accomplished yet, but we did manage to knock down some trees and made some frames. So I want to show you how we make a very quick and dirty shelter. We don't need to have anything fancy, we just need a place that we can call home for the night that will keep the zomboids out. So what we're going to do is very easily make, you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. We're going to make a very simple shelter that we can hide in for the night. So I'm right clicking, placing these objects in the world. There we go. I had a bunch of frames that I made up. I'm going to get my hammer and I'm going to start upgrading these outside ones first. Alright, now we get the outside corners done. You also want to work the outside first, because you can upgrade the inside when you're inside of the base. Okay, get these placed. And I'm actually going to pick these up again. It's always a little bit of a panic. And I'm actually going to go ahead and stop in the middle here. I'm going to make a campfire just so that everyone can see what's going on a little better. So we're going to make a campfire. Some rocks that I picked up earlier. Craft that. And while that's crafting, I'm going to run over, this is the scary time of night, run over to this river over here. I'm going to fill these cans up with water. So now I've gotten 4 cans of water to work with. And there's a brief period of time every night where it gets super dark. But I'm going to take my campfire now that I've made. I'm going to put it down on the ground. And we get a little bit of illumination from that. And I'm going to take just some planks just so we have fire in here. Every stick you put on there has a different burn time. And we'll talk about that a little bit here in a moment. Let's go ahead and we'll start doing this up. You want to get crouched at night as fast as you can. Alright, now we can start putting the rest of our frames down. So that first night you really want to be having your base ready before nightfall. We definitely held out a little too late, but I want to kind of show you this last minute panic kind of upgrade that you've got to do sometimes. You got to make sure you always have that wood ready. The more wood you have ready, the better. Makes it a little easier to survive. Alright, so now we got a wall all the way around us. Very quickly make this very simple structure. I'll leave one spot unupgraded and we'll put a door in there once we have the rest of the walls done. You want to have protection from any zombies passing by, and then the night time comes on. It's a little brighter outside. A little easier to see what's going on. So that first night's always the most nervous. Generally, you want to get that base going. You want to pick a spot out. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, you want to pick a spot by about 4 o'clock and make sure you've got some building going. You don't want to wait till like 8 o'clock like I just did. Alright, see, and just like that, we've got a basic bit. Before I take this wall out, I want to make a little door. So go in here and we do door. We've already made a wood door before, so the software remembers, the game remembers the recipe that you've done. So you can click it, immediately puts the objects you need to make that recipe in there. You notice that it makes it in green and it's bold when you've got the ingredients and that you can make it, and you've made it before. So we'll go ahead and click that, have it crafting. Now, we don't have any food yet, which is a little bit troubling, but we do have the can of chili that you start the game with. So let's go ahead, we'll pick these 2 frames up. Oops, come on. There we go. And then we want to place that door out there. There's zombies right there. There's some grass that's causing us some placement problems, which happens sometimes. There we go. Oops, that's not what I want with the door. All right, so now that door is behaving the way I want it to. Let's upgrade that door a little bit, make it a little bit stronger, just in case those zombies want to come visiting. All right, so what do you do that first night? We've got a can of chili, we've got some eggs, we've got a bottle of water that we've got with us. So one of the first things that you can do in the game, ignore the fact that I've got that. When I was doing my tutorial, I needed some water. So got a can of chili. So one of the first things you can do in the game if you're hungry is you eat that can of chili. Mmm, tasty stuff. And it gives you an empty can. Those empty cans, like I just showed you, you can run over and fill them up, and you get a can of murky water. So what you can do is you can go in and you can take a stick and use it as cookware. If you've been lucky enough to find a cooking pot on your first day, then you can bypass this stage, and you can actually just use any jars that you've found as your cooking device. But for right now, all we have is a stick. We don't have a jar, so we can take our empty cans of murky water, put them in the center, and you always want to make sure you cook that cook button. Tells it takes 1 minute and 20 seconds to cook. We've got 1.5 minutes left, or 1 minute and 58 left on our time. You can always add more planks. Pretty much everything has a burn time. Like if you hover over plant fibers or sticks, it tells you burn time 4 seconds. Paper has got a burn time of 1 second. This torch has a burn time of 4 seconds. So each thing has a different burn time. You want to make sure you click that cook button. Otherwise, things just, don't cook. Later on, there's more advanced cooking. We'll get into that as time goes on. So now we got a basic base going. It took us, it was a stack of 64. We had 15 left. So it took us 49 to go ahead and make this. And we don't have a roof. Let's go ahead and put this roof on. Just empty frames. We can pick it back up in the morning and save these frames. That just helps us in case, some zombie climbs the wall and tries to eat us. Oh, I can hear some zombies out there too. Scary times. Anyway, we get our cans of bottled water. They do not stack in your inventory, so each one takes up a space like that. But they are pretty good at giving you back stamina and hydration. So this gives you 20 stamina and 20 hydration. A regular water gives you the same. So these are really good for living off of. Now, until you get a cook pot, there's pretty much nothing else that you can cook on your first night. So you're kind of out of luck. If you have some meat, however, let's just go ahead and pretend that we found and killed, let's say, deer. So that's venison. And so I'll take one of the butchered venison that we found. Now, the minute you have venison in your inventory, it stinks. You hear those zombies? They just got all excited. So you want to get that out of your inventory as fast as possible. And now it tells you it takes 10 seconds to cook this. So I'm going to right click. Each one of these is each one is 4 seconds or 12 seconds. So that's plenty of time. We'll hit cook. And you can hear the zombies out there. So all meats, venison stews, all your stews. Oh, they're going by. We're just going to be very quiet here for a few moments. You can see them running past us. So at night, the zombies run. And they get a little stronger. And they basically want to kill you. So right now is a good time for those zombies just to go booking by. And you can see the little scents flashing up. Every once in a while, they'll come by. They'll kind of sense me as they run by the door. And they are running back and forth out there. So this is definitely a part of the game when you clench up a little bit. But luckily, so far, except for that one right there, they are ignoring me. But that one is, he's interested. Now, generally, though, zombies will run from nightfall to dawn. Generally, depends on how your game is configured. Remember, you can set the length of your night, which will affect what time it is when the game starts. Generally, about 7 in the morning, the zombies will stop running. Maybe a little bit earlier. And generally, it's about 9 o'clock at night is when they start running. And when they run, It is scary. We'll go ahead and open the door and we can kind of watch them come at us here. Oh, they're not coming. Good. That one went... Oh. He's back. Oh, he's back now. And we are sensed. And we only have 14 crossbow bolts. They will slowly break through this door. So when you are trying to hide from the zombies, I want this to happen, you can right-click and you can repair, and you can see that little puff. Now, when an object is upgraded... Oh, there's a pig out there being butchered. So you can upgrade it with extra planks, that second level. So we want to make sure we repair that. And some nights you'll sit in your house and all you'll do is repair the walls while the zombies slowly bash away at them. And that can be really nerve-wracking. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep repairing. We might even upgrade this wall here. Make it a little stronger. I'll let the door get beat down a lot so we can really see the damage the door takes. So now we just lost that layer of upgrade that happened that we had on there. I'd say you don't have to be too worried the first few nights. The zombies aren't that strong. So it's fairly easy to defend against them. And they don't take down your base too quickly. Just check my walls. If it says upgrading, then that means that they haven't done any damage. So the other ones are all good. Get that zombie still sitting there, and then you can see daylight's coming. Ah, day just happened there. And you'll notice the clock will start slowing down. And when that clock starts slowing down, that means the zombies are no longer running. So we are pretty close to that. It should be pretty safe now, actually, to go outside, even though there are zombies standing right there. So rather than going outside, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to jump up like that, dropping this with a right click, the frame underneath me, so that I can stand up here on top of my little house, and hopefully I can spot them, and hopefully shoot them in the head. So be careful on the edge. I tend to fall off of buildings. Anyone who's watched me knows that tends to happen. But you wait till they smile up at you and you just, put a crossbow bolt through their brains. When you're shooting the zombies, you want to give them, if they're moving, you got to give them a little bit of a lead. And you want to aim for the head if you can. Headshots will generally kill them faster. Body shots will take much more time to kill. And obviously looting is a very important part of the game. So if you can, the zombies generally despawn after about 60 seconds. So if you can, you want to be able to get down there and loot the zombies up before they go away. Now again, I mentioned before dropping off of things. You can drop 3 or 4 blocks without any problem. More than about 4 blocks, you run the risk of spraining your leg, which will reduce your movement speed. And we'll cover injuries and recovery later on in the game. So let's go ahead. We'll go in here and we'll check her. She didn't have anything. We'll check this guy. These guys a lot of times have fat on them because they're, fat guys. And that can be used for making candles. Nurses are great to find. Always want to get them vitamins, and you're coming at me, huh? Get you out of the way. So anyway, the nurses have great loot usually. They also have the beaker, which is very important, and I'll cover that in a later episode. This guy had some some pain pills. It's great. What did this guy have? Nothing. All right, and those girls already despawned over here. All right, so we have survived our first night. The basic thing is get yourself some empty cans, get some water. You never want to risk drinking river water if you can avoid it at all. It'll give you a 50% chance of getting dysentery, and that's bad. It can lead to death if not treated properly with goldenrod or antibiotics later on. So you want to make sure you have that. Also, vitamins will also cure dysentery, but yep. zombies everywhere. All right, well, for now, it's been Wrong with the Bold. Little tutorial on surviving your first night. If you have questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. And if you have a specific topic you'd like me to cover in the tutorial series, please let me know, and I will be happy to do it. But for now, it's been Wrong with the Bold. Wishing you a great and happy day. Let your friends, your family, and your grandma know that zombies are bad for you. And I will see you in another series.